We got the story that Paul George has been suspended 25 games for violating the NBA's anti-drug policy. All right, we're going to give our thoughts on this. Let's kind of catch you up to date on what happened here if you missed exactly what I was. Here's Shams, ESPN Saturday, describing what it is and what's going on.
This is a highly unusual and stunning development, Ernie, for one of the league's really great players in the past and someone of his caliber. But Paul George told me today in a statement that this occurrence happened for Paul George with this test that led to a 25-game ban due to an improper medication for a mental health related issue, not a physical one. Paul George told me that he takes full responsibility for his actions and, quote, poor decision making. And remember, back in 2020 during the NBA bubble, Paul George was outspoken about mental health that he faced during that time, even in the past few years. But he will now be sidelined through March 25th. He's going to be eligible for the last 10 games of the 76ers season. And in total, guys, this is going to cost Paul George almost $12 million.
Yeah, Paul George's pockets is not what I'm concerned about. It's the Sixers that we're concerned about. He had been playing better. Obviously, trade deadline coming up on Thursday. So a lot of things, that this impacts here. Hugh, your reaction to the way Shams described it, a medication that Paul George claims was for mental health, but obviously something triggered a banned substance on the list. He's taking responsibility for it. Hugh, as someone who lived a life in a league where you had to follow the rules, but also had medication you had to take at times. What's your take on this?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack, man. And like you said, I played in NFL, but I was diagnosed when I was with the Eagles with ADHD. And it was one of those substances that, one of the side effects is it can make you hyperactive and, gives you a little bit more energy and things like that. It was on the banned substance list, but I was diagnosed with it. So I was exempt from it because I had to take it. I still take it to this day. But when I heard it, and I was like, again, I don't know the NBA rules. I don't know the rules in the NBA. But you would think that if it was something to help level you out, if you're having some mental issues or things of that nature, that you would be exempt from that.
So basically you'd be allowed, even though...
You would be allowed because it's for mental... It's like mental health has been at the forefront I would want to say for the last 5 years, especially when it comes to professional athletes.
And the NBA specifically, I would say, has been ahead
very
of the
outspoken.
Curve.
Yes.
They've been they've tried to promote helping their players with
Who was it? Because I think it's probably before her, but I remember Coco Gauff, I think is who it was, that talked about mental health and then it became a big issue and it became something that people started to be concerned about. So when I hear Paul George say that, I was like, wait a minute. Number one, what drug are you taking that's making you look like that? I don't know. And number two, if it is for mental health, then that you should be exempt for that because that's for your mental health.
So I would think that if you go through the proper channels, right? You say, The doctor diagnosed me, I have this, I'd like to take this drug for my mental health. There is a substance within it that is on the ban list. Can I take it? And then they would say the yes or the no.
Yes, because that's no joke, man. That's no joke because, like I said, taking not Ritalin, but it was I forgot. I can't Lexidefamitin, whatever it is.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah, or Ritalin, Adderall, all the easier names that I could say.
But
the point is, it's something that is allowed when you are diagnosed with it.
Well, so here's the part that confuses me. If he is telling the truth, then he either did not take the proper steps, right, to tell the NBA, hey, I have this, can I take this, and then wait for their response. Or he's not telling the truth, because there is something obviously missing from this. I thought there was a good discussion, Hugh, Saturday on ESPN with the former Inside the NBA guys, right, like Kenny and Shaq and Charles and Ernie Johnson. Mm-hmm. They were talking about this whole thing. And Shaq was holding up, the paper in front of his hand. He was basically saying the NBA hands you a pamphlet. The NBA will tell all the players, these are the things you cannot take. Yeah. They all know it, right? I imagine the same way in the NFL, any sport. So then once that thing is found in your body, right, that substance is found in your body, it's on you. You've been told you can't take this. So it feels pretty simple to me. If he was diagnosed the way he said he was, and he had to take this so he'd have better mental health, we're all for that, then he had to go tell the NBA or ask, can I take this? Can I be exempt? And something's lost in translation here. Let's hear Charles Barkley talking about the situation and kind of what's missing here.
Even if it's on the list,
they would let you take
they
that
will let
for
you
mental
take that
health.
for mental health.
For mental health.
And listen, Kenny, I'm 100% agree with you. It's something fishy going on here. Now, I don't joke around about mental health, but if you're taking something for mental health, that's got to be an outlier to the NBA.
Not a performance enhancing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make, listen, like I say, as my girl Judge Judy said, if it doesn't make sense to me, it don't make sense.
No, he's telling the truth, man, because like I said, I took ADHD medicine, and this was during the time where, and I'll never forget the meetings, when Rip Fuel, for all the old heads out there, remember Rip Fuel back in the day. That was the go-to, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Corey Stringer. Rest in peace. He passed away from that. He had it in his body, and it was a ban on all substances like that. We used to go to the. Well, I'm telling too much now, but I'm here now. We used to go to the gas stations. We used to go to the truck stops and get those. Forgot those red pills, but they banned those. They banned all that stuff. So then it became guys were taking Ritalin to try to get that high, and I remember I had to get cleared from the NFL. I got diagnosed and I had to get cleared because that was on the banned substance list. But I was allowed to take it. So that's what I'm saying, because that was for focus and if for mental health, if you will. So it's one of those things where if you follow the proper procedures, and it's not that hard to do, especially if it's something that's helping you cope with the day-to-day stresses of life. So, yeah, I didn't understand that.
All right, so what I'm about to say is not so much a Paul George thing. It's just a fan of sports my whole life. These players always say the same thing. I didn't realize. As if they don't know everything that goes into their body. Like, think about, we've seen the stories of the chefs they have, of how they eat, how they train. Like, every great athlete knows what goes in their body more than the normal person. So Paul George knew what he was taking. And what happened in between, I don't know. Did he ask the NBA? Did he not ask the NBA? Did he just think he would get past it? I have no idea. Hugh, it is striking to me that he is not appealing. Because I would think if he was exempt from something and then he got popped for it, wouldn't he go back to them and say, hey, hold on, you told me I could take this. So I know I tested positive. But, it's not my fault. So it tells me he's either not telling the whole truth or he just is accepting what he did because he's not appealing a 25-game suspension. It's a shame because the trade deadline's coming up. About 2 weeks ago, everyone started to realize the Sixers were a little better than we thought. There's a season we played here. He's either going to be part of this thing and to help them make the playoffs and win this year, or his name keeps coming up in potential trades because his salary matches. Either way, it's a mess for the Sixers. I find it interesting he's not appealing. Not appealing almost feels like an admission of guilt.
Yeah. Especially when it's something as simple as if it was exactly what you said it was, it shouldn't be that hard, in my opinion. Because like I said, I remember going through the procedure and the protocols to allow me to be able to take what I was taking. So yeah, I don't understand it. I really don't.
It does add to this has been a disaster of a signing by the Sixers. The Paul George thing. I mean, he's given them 20 good games in 2 years, and now he's going to be suspended 25. That's where we're at.
So he's going to be suspended for more games than he's given us good games.
I think that's about right. And he's coming off last week, probably his best game as a Sixer. 32 points last week.
That's crazy.
9 threes.
You know what? Guaranteed to be healthy for the postseason.
That is true. He'll come back with about 10 games to go in the regular season. Cannot wait.
So not a full guarantee, actually.
No, he could get hurt again. 215-592-9490. For your reaction to the Paul George news, it's a tough one. Not that I think we expect them to play great the whole way, but just the fact that they're going to miss their best two-way, small forward the rest of this, most of the rest of the regular season, and then just trying to unpack what the heck this is. And if he's telling the truth, Hugh, I do feel bad for him to an extent because he's trying to.
Yeah, I don't understand how that would be an issue.
But that's why it's hard to believe. It's just hard. Again, I'm just cynical on this. I never seem to find myself believing the athlete that gets busted for these things. It always feels like hey, it was for this, or hey, it was for that.
It wasn't what you think it was.
Right. But then it's usually what is deep down what you think it is.